Koenigsegg Jesko special event, All or Nothing, Stage 3, here we go. Now, contrary to what the stage title may suggest, free and instant servicing, we don't actually get free and instant servicing, it's just a regular stage. But we are racing at Nürburgring, as suggested in the sort of a background picture here. Although it's gonna be mostly at in the darkness. So anyway, as always, 4 goals to complete in this mid stages. It's gonna be a 2-lapper, and it says we have to tailgate for minute 20 seconds, which would be 80 seconds, but as you can see in the tailgating timer, it's 90, so I'm just gonna chalk it off as a typo. It is 90 seconds. So, and then of course we gotta do that prior to running out of fuel. So anytime you have to manage your fuel, it is advised that you use manual acceleration, because coasting is kind of key here. Yeah, it's a new track for this car, so still, we gotta learn our braking points, especially Nürburgring. We got some fast straights. So anyway, once again, this goal shouldn't be too bad of a challenge. Just learning the braking points really is all it is about, I think. Push in. So when the straights that lead into the corners not very long, you can actually push pretty far into these corners before having to brake. Of course, now we have to tailgate, or not draft, this tailgate behind Eric. So as long as obviously you don't want to go in front of him, that's not tailgating. But I am kind of bumping into him a bit more than probably what would be necessary, because I was kind of figuring out how hard can I push this car and still be able to kind of make the corner. But anyway, so as soon as you complete those 90, not minute 20, but minute 30 seconds of tailgating without running out of fuel, the challenge is over. So you don't actually have to complete both laps. And yes, it is kind of dark, isn't it? So if you're like me, poor visibility might be the most challenging thing about this stage. Anyway, goal 1 complete, just like that. And yeah, me too, I'm surprised too, already running out of fuel. 3 a.m. apparently is when we are racing, or sometime that early. Alright, anyway, so moving on to the challenge 2. It's a this is an average speed challenge, right, with degrading tires. So now, because I am running with just racing dollar upgrades only, I don't know, if you're a better racer, you might be able to pull this off, nail those braking points pretty deep into the corners and get it right. But in my case, I just took an easy way out. So if you're one of those racing purists, don't be too offended. I cut some corners. That's what I mean. The final chicane. The rest of it, I am gonna try to stay and race proper, as one should. but my main point is, trying to win this car with the minimal upgrade. So the lap 1, obviously the tires in better condition, so you want to try to get the most out of the first lap as you can. Bring your average speed as high as you can possibly pull it off. Obviously, if you skid or go off track, your grip degradation or tire degradation will be accelerated. So that's the tricky thing. You gotta make sure kind of balance it out. And yeah, I ain't got no time to slow down through that chicane because that just kills my average speed. So keep it above the target as I start the lap 2, and that is important because lap 2 I am down to 50% grip, so I don't have as much of a luxury, so it's gonna feel a lot more slippery in the lap 2. Some challenges when the grip degradation is a thing, some cars you may not feel it as much. This one you definitely feel it. It's like, whoa, super slippery. So, of course, it makes you a little bit more nervous about going off track and losing time and losing speed. So, yeah, as you can see, as I was saying, the grip is pretty much out the window at this point, so as you can see, like, I'm driving all over the place, my goodness. But that was not my intention. It's just that and this car has grip down to like teens or somewhere below 50%. It is noticeably slippery. So when you're negotiating those corners, it is okay to slow down a little bit more, but instead try to keep those wheels on the tarmac so your average speed isn't affected too much. But apparently if you can get it in under 3 minutes 8 seconds and change, you will still be able to hit the target average speed with a little bit of stylish finish at the end, going through sideways, right? Anywho, so, and that does put the car in critical condition. Probably going all over the place didn't help, so we'll get the car serviced before we tackle the second half of this stage. Seriously, yes, seriously. Fuel, if it's not fuel, it's the tires. Yeah, I know. So Ahmed is gonna, or not Ahmed, Eric's gonna take care of everything, right? Anyway, we'll return after the service is done. All right, the service is done. Let's continue on here. Goal 3, we gotta hit the top speed of 215 miles per hour or 345 kph 3 times without being overtaken or going off track. Now, off track part, as you'll notice here, apparently doesn't apply because I am definitely off track there. By the way, that very first straight, you don't have to hit the top speed in the first instance when you get the rolling start. We can do it in between the first and second lap, or at the beginning of the second lap. And of course, you wanna make sure you hit the target top speed on the sort of that final straight heading into the chicane, right? So those are the 2 spots. But yeah, why did I try to force top speed target in the very beginning, well, I mean, if you can pull it off, then it's one less instance of top speed that you have to, you know, clock in. And as you can see, ooh, that was close. That's why you would not want to go off track, but yeah, as you saw, I flew off track a couple of times, you know, but and there too I cut the corner a bit more than what I should be able, what I should be allowed to get away with. Anyway, you know what? So I already set the target top speed twice, and this is the third instance. There we go. Allow me enough of a circuit to make the corner. Although, once you realize that they don't really care if you go off track in this instance, so it does kind of frees you up your line a little bit more room for error, if you will. But it's all okay. So that's nice to know, isn't it? When there's goal description error works out in our favor. So yeah, once off track is okay, this goal isn't. I don't think it's too bad. When if you have to make sure you stay on track, then obviously you cannot do that kind of things. Of course, I am pushing a little bit unnecessarily cavalierly here because well, it hasn't disqualified me yet. So, and when they say in this event, when they say no off track, they're extremely strict when they're enforcing that. Like even if you go slightly off track, you're immediately disqualified, as some of you guys may have already experienced it. Anyway, this one, not so much. And just like that, 2 minutes 58 seconds and change, and some 1200 fame points, we are through yet another challenge in this stage 3 of the special event featuring Jesko, All or Nothing. Alright, so alright, takes out maybe 2/3 of the service bars, enough to get us into the final challenge of the stage. So apparently this stage requires you to service the car once. Alright, and the final challenge is gonna be sort of like almost like a time trial here. So need to finish under minute 28 without going off track or damaging your car. Now this, I mean, I suppose you can smash into the wall and damage your car, but this time when they say minute 28, that is actually the real target they are suggesting. And yeah, so, you know, no off track, no hitting the wall too hard. That sounds just like with the rolling start. That sounds just like time trial. And you just have to get it in under the target time of minute 28. Alright, so that would be about 30 seconds per sector. And the first sector was 30 and change just now. So, of course, the first sector is the one that I feel like you have the least control over, because you already had a rolling start coming in, perhaps with less speed than if you were to make the curve at the end yourself. But anyway, as you can see, second sector, I was able to get it under 30 seconds. Instead of a minute, I was passing at 58 seconds and change. So, you know, that just kind of gives you a good sense of where you need to be and how your what your pace is. So, ooh, I was dangerously close to that inside barrier, but enough time. I think before I started the sideway finish, I think, yeah, I had about 2 seconds still left on the clock. So, yeah. I mean, you've done 3 prior challenges here at Nürburgring, so by the time you reach the last one, you know, hopefully you get pretty familiar with your braking point and just in general knowledge of the track. Now, I don't have to service the car, but I am going to because obviously that's the end of the stage, and this car is just gonna be sitting otherwise waiting so until the next stage is available. So, you know, make sure you get the car serviced at the end of the stage. Now for rewards of stage 3, we got 1300 victory points, which is gonna get me to the next service tier. And how much gold was it? Yeah, you guys saw the gold rewards. Let me look it up here. What's the stage 3? 15 gold and 50,000 racing dollars, right? Anyway, so that is that, and stage 4, we'll be heading on over to Belgium at Spa for the next Jesko showdown. So stay tuned for stage 4 coming up next. Thanks for watching. Take care.